We have what are called critical Bible studies, where we take an approach to the Bible from a historical, critical point of view and try to study it as a book and try to learn from it, but also try to understand where it came from, how it developed. My personal belief is that you need to be able to understand another religion or another belief or another concept first before you can begin to analyze it critically and begin to dissect it. And so that's what we attempt to do when we talk about other religions. Understand and then try to analyze and dissect.
I would agree. I think that in order to be critical against something, you have to be able to understand it. And there are many people that are much too quick to criticize without fully understanding what it is they're criticizing.
So we've taken the time in our group to learn about Islam and Judaism. We even actually have some people in our group who used to be Hindu. And so we've taken the time to learn so that we have a better understanding of the different religions and why they don't work for our members. And it's been interesting. We've even had some Christians come to our group to learn more about us. And we've had some very nice exchanges about why and why not each of us feels the way we do. It's been very interesting.
And that's an important aspect of this whole process, is that what we want to try to do is to help people understand that atheists are just like everyone else, that your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers could likely be atheists, that we are people who have families, friends, jobs, lives, interests, and we, like any other human being, want to love and to do what's right, and to try to do what's right based upon reason, logic, and critical thinking.
I also would like to say that understanding is the key. Misunderstanding or lack of understanding is one of the most common universal causes of fear. You fear what you do not understand. So if you take time to learn more about something or somebody, you will see that you don't fear it as much.
Being an atheist, a secular humanist, is very hard on a day-to-day basis. I can choose to come out and tell people that I'm an atheist and instantly create that kind of stigma. Sometimes people are very accepting, sometimes they're very wary, and I've lost friends. I've had people just completely stop talking to me because I've suddenly become a pariah, because they can't understand how I can be a good person. And yet every day I don't declare it, it causes problems as well, because you come back to work after Christmas or after Easter, and everyone is talking about what they did on Easter and what they had for Christmas dinner, and you have nothing to share because you don't celebrate those things. Now, I still get together with my family. I still do presents. We do certain things for Christmas because it's tradition and it's fun. But I don't share those same holidays with people. And there's other religions that probably feel the same way, but they have more of a community that they belong with. Atheists are kind of out there on their own. And so it's very nice to have this group that we do to create a community. But it doesn't help us when on a day-to-day basis you go to work, you function at the gym, and everywhere you go, you're by yourself, and it's very isolating, and you have to make the decision every day. Do I tell someone or do I not?
Many of us struggle with that daily. Do I tell a family member? Do I talk to my spouse or children about how I feel about God or religion? And the lack of my belief in that. And so people struggle a great deal every day with that. And it very often does create conflict and problems for people when they do tell people and come out.
That is a reality that I think individually people have to face in their own way. What is significant is that more and more people are beginning to speak out and say, here's what I do believe, or are being able to state their beliefs, even though there may be some resistance. I find it incredibly important that this very center in its history, which was a result of someone who was angry and mad and fearful, destroyed a building in order to exercise that fear and that anger. It exists, and it's something that we face as individuals. And so now it's important for us to begin to reach out to one another, to connect, and to build that community so we can support one another.
I also would like to say that, unfortunately, still, we are faced every day with a choice whether to be ourselves or talk about our beliefs or lack of beliefs and risk a confrontation or discrimination. I think it's very unfortunate.
Atheists, quote, don't believe anything. Quite the opposite. While we don't believe in a God, we certainly have beliefs and values, and we certainly have causes that we feel very strongly about. So the absence of God does not result in a lack of belief, but rather a different focus and a different direction of expressing our beliefs.
Yeah, some of the atheists I know are the most faithful and believing people I know. They have such faith in humanity, and they are the most caring and compassionate people. They donate time and money and efforts to charities and to good works, and they're just the most compassionate people I know. And again, they do it for no other reason than to just be a good person. And I think while you can say the same things about Christians or anyone else, you know, I just think that it's very important to point that out, because so many people believe that you can't be that kind of person unless you have God in your life. And I just think that it's important to know that you can do that just because you're a good person.
We have more of a focus on a belief in each other, a belief in humanity, rather than a focus on something that may or may not exist. And I think that's important because it is less of a if we focus on ourselves, some people may feel that that's being selfish, but we are all we have. Humanity is the only known life, intelligent life in the universe. This is our only home, our only planet, and we need to focus on that rather than something that may or may not exist.
Non-believers have a very different perspective of life, because we think this is it. This is our one shot, and everything that was before we were born will be just as it is after we are gone. And so rather than most people fearing death, we just treasure the life that we have. Now, that's a very generalized statement, and I don't speak for all atheists, but and every person who is a non-believer takes it in a different way, but generally, it means that there's a lot more of us who are environmentalists, a lot more of us who work for the people who are less, who have less. We do more to help people. We look out for each other, and it's a very positive movement. It's a very humbling thing to be part of, because we enjoy life more. We take advantage of the things that are here to enjoy, whether it's just each other's company or taking vacations, going on picnics together, going roller skating, whatever it is, we do it, and we often do it together because we realize that every day is a gift, and life is very short. And since we believe this is all we have, we want to take advantage of it.
Knowing that there is only one life for us and this is it definitely makes it more precious, more exciting, and more important. And we feel more motivated to do the right thing.